Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is me, your host and friend and fellow creative Maalavidaa, aka Alicia. And I'm happy to be back today. It's been quite a ride since last time. We tried to do a bit of vacation in the meantime of everything happening, and it was great. But I feel like there are some things that need to be vented out and checked on. So that's what we shall do today. I'm gonna talk in a subjective point of view and manner, I guess, because I'm the only one here, of course. But you're all more than welcome to follow along and share anything in a chat. But yeah, for the record, this is a monthly mental health check presented to you by Heal the Deal, which is the Metaverse's emotional support club that I founded in January 2021. So it's been already a year and a half. Wow, we're growing up. So very happy to be back. This is a safe space where we discuss everything from creativity, mental health, breakdowns, passions and hobbies and whatnot. So without further ado, what I love to do for monthly check-ins or check-outs, I guess, is to look at my little app that I use for these kind of things and where I monitor all of my emotional data entries. So this is, for the record, this is called Delio. Like Delio. I will just add it in the chat. Delio app. And this is basically a tool that I use for anything and everything during the day, where I can add all of my moods and emotions throughout the months and years. So you can see here, this was June, then this is like end of July, like mid-July, end of July, and then we have August. So let's do a little comparison, shall we? I think last time was at the beginning of July that I did this live. And then if we count like a month from now, that would lead us to the 16th of July or the 17th of July. And as you can see on the graph here, it wasn't a really good time. Pretty bad actually, compared to, for example, other months where you can see I don't have a lot of red, but when I'm in the red, it means that things go really bad, i.e. Anxiety, i.e. depression, i.e. trigger warning, self-harm, and all of that. So yeah, I faith. Yeah, it's only me today. I had to reinstall Twitch and stuff from when I had to dump my apps and then get a new phone, blah blah. You know the drill. Yeah, I love doing these on Twitch. It's fun. I love being on Twitch. I feel like it's very intimate for me, because I don't have a lot of following there, and I love that. I just love casual stuff, I guess. Oh, I love you too, and I miss you too. I'm so glad to see you around, and thank you for all of the interactions lately on the Discord. Yeah, it's very comfortable, actually. I just finished like a meeting, and then was like, okay, let's go and do, casual chat. Just check in on all of the datas. Thank you. Your Twitch profile is gorgeous. Thank you. I do prefer my personal one though on the Maalavidaa channel because I just redid it. But this one's great. I just love that it makes me think about Heal the Deal stage 3 or like 2 actually all the time. And I'll just do a little PSA about that further down the line. But yeah, so the data here, it's bad, as you can see. So 1 month from now on, I have a lot of red. I think I had like a just major breakdown about basically most of it is like OCD related. Um, and the fact that I don't know, like sometimes it just happens. Like I just get very impulsive with how I react and how everything is all black, I guess, and there's like no nuances to that. But it's okay, I guess. And in those times, it's very difficult because I have, so I mentioned I have OCD, but I also have like ROCD, which means like relationship oriented OCD, which means that it's very difficult for me to sustain like my relationship and everything that has to be put in this, like the work. Hi, Plum. Made my own version of rating my day back in the 90s. I still have the printouts. I did it on a PC. Yes. Wasn't on Windows. What's that called? The thing. Oh my god. On Word. Microsoft Word. I want to print out Pigplum. Yes. Oh my god. If you can find it, that would be hilarious. But there's a lot of things that you can do, of course, like on your own and just do your own thing. So you can do it by journaling. You can do it by drawing as well. A lot of people love to do all of their day-to-day life in drawings and just highlight the things that they loved and the things that they didn't really love as well. I think it was Word. Yes. I hope you used the rainbow text, like 3D text feature. It was my favorite thing ever. I miss it so bad. I mean, graphic design. That's where we started. But yeah, journaling and just like tracking things is just very interesting for that because as you can see, like this part of the month, so like middle to end of July was bad. Like I really tried, and I genuinely thought that I just wanted to go like to the hospital or something because sometimes I just feel like there's no way I'm gonna get out of this because I'm just sick. I guess that's what they say and call you when you have so much anxiety and just when you struggle so much um, in your mind and you get. I guess that it's convenient to see it as a sickness of some sort. I'm sorry that it was bad for you as well, Faith. I feel like summer is like, well, to be honest, I hate summer for the sole purpose that there's like so much sweat involved in summer. So that already fucks me up in the brain because I'm just like, ugh, I feel dirty. And when I feel dirty on the outside, I feel dirty on the inside. So that being said, I know it's not like summer is not like all butterflies and balloons for everyone because like everyone assumes like, oh, it's summer, sun's out, like buns out, whatever. But no, like it can be triggering because like you can see all of those people really enjoying their summer and doing like, I don't know, like vacations and whatnot, and you're just struggling with the most basic things. Um and I guess the expectations of like enjoying life when you cannot really do it yourself. So that's a bit of a challenge, and that's normal to feel that way, I think. So that was that for me, I guess. Um, but eventually, so yeah, of course, I've seen my therapist. Talked about that. She's always trying to, like comfort me in the way that this is just a phase. You're coming from way back down the road, and it's okay. It's not like you absolutely need to like go to the hospital or anything or to be taken in charge because like you can do that yourself on a daily basis. In fact, you have been doing it on a daily basis ever since you were born. And especially now as an adult, right? So I guess we just tend to forget that we are actually capable of doing that and that we are actually doing it every single day, and right now in this moment, because I don't know, like the pain and the emotions, and like negative emotions have like such a grip and a power on you, rather than positive emotions who are like, I don't know, like they feel sometimes like a very um temporary comfort and vanishes as quick as they came, whereas like negative emotions just lay around for so long and you're just so accustomed to them that it's just difficult to ponder thing, I guess. But yeah, anyways, so I felt like I was going bad, and then eventually I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. What happens if I just positive, like sometimes I try to do that, like being positive, because that's a foreign word for me, like being positive. So sometimes I just challenge myself to put myself in character, I guess. Sometimes I break down though. The character facade breaks down, but sometimes I just try to take it as, yeah, like as playing a part, right? Because I feel like playing a part for me is the way for me to get involved in something, because I love playing parts. I have many, many personalities, and when I play each and one of them, I feel like they're also being like treated by my mind and just how do you say, what's the word, like I want to find a good word for that. They're digested, I guess. Not sure if that's a good word, actually. Negative emotions can be a lot. Yeah, I know. I know you all know, because we're into this like every single day together, and I know it's bad. But there's also a lot of things that are good, though, and sometimes we're just blinding ourselves, because that's how humans functions, and that's the proper of the mind. It wants to lingers on the things that triggers you, I guess. This means I'm listening and I hear you. Masking yes. Participant observer is my mode of comfort, authentic and yet performative participation. Well, you are absolutely appreciated for that. You don't need to participate in any ways. Like, just you being here is already a lot, and I feel so much more complete. For real. So thank you for that. Negativity is a bitch. It's bad, but I love it also. And just like it's bad because like I feel like sometimes it's just so much part of my personality as a person. I've built a character around it. I've built work around it as well. And as you say, Faith, like the automatism of lingering towards negativity, it's so difficult actually to fight against, because that's a mechanism. And that's why, like, when we have like crisis, just like me, as you can see on that graph, when you're in that kind of crisis and just like in those kinds of tantrums, I'm using Plum's words from our previous conversation on the Discord, because I really resonated with the word tantrums, because I feel like that depicts how I feel in those moments where I'm just like breaking everything in the house completely. Like I feel like a tornado, and I feel like nothing's gonna ever stop me from being that destructive and like destroying myself and destroying others in my path. Um, and it's funny because I know that it's probably not how people see me, and that's like that's absolutely bending my mind, because like how can we not see ourselves as other people do? Like it's like being a completely different person. It's like when you have those mirrors, like people have invented those mirrors where you have like three mirrors like put together, and when you look into it, you can see yourself like inverted, and how other people look at, and that's how people look at you and see you. And it's crazy because you can see the difference between like what you see, which might be like someone, you can see perhaps someone, I don't know, like cool and quirky and whatever, and perhaps like on that reversed image you can see someone that's like funny and open and perhaps like youthful as well. And that just reminds me of like the concept of perspective, because like I do believe that if I was to see myself from the outside without any link to my mind, I would definitely feel different about myself, but I don't. I don't know. It's just an existential question, anyways. We contain multitudes, and yes, that's a topic I'm very passionate about. Hence why I talked about it in my thesis as well, when I talked about, books and like the narratives of shaping books, and how they contain multiple identities and personalities and whatever. But I will say that having faced hardship with my mental health, being in life situations now, I've experienced trying to work through it with myself, my family. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you're way older than me. Not saying that you're old, of course, but you have more experience than I do because I'm 27. Um, and even though we all have different experience, you can't deny the fact that time is a very valuable source of experience, because the more you go through the same things over and over again, the more you're getting used to that, and the more you are used to facing it and, shaping your own process to work around that. So I'm very hopeful, and I feel like I want to be hopeful about the future, which is not something that I usually am, because like I'm always like, oh my god, this is always going to be the same. It's always going to be like that. But it's not, because like if we take a step back from like 10 years ago, it wasn't like that. I wasn't doing the things that I do today. I wasn't talking the way that I talk today, even in this exact moment. So it's not always going to be like that. And I guess, like, that's my hope. That's my very own interpretation of hope. And that's probably what keeps me going, to see how things can turn on, or how they can turn, and how they can evolve. Like, even if it's towards the negative, the positive, the whatever. I love to think that I'm not gonna feel the way that I'm feeling today. Like tomorrow, I'm not gonna feel the same way. There's always slight variations. Um, Curiosity and creation, right? And not only like creation, like creations of the hands or the mind, but also creations of the creation of existing, because existing is an act of creation, right? Or that's how I love to see it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thoughts. Um, but yeah, as you can see, so let's see the difference there, because you can see that this was like end of July, and then we come to like vacation. How crazy is that? So after the crisis, of course, I had a couple of days down. And usually when I start coming back, I have a decent run of like a few positive days right after, because obviously a lot of the negative emotions and acts have been processed. So it's easier to go after that. I've never lost my curiosity, sense of wonder, persistence. Never, never lose it. You'll never lose it. If you made it this far, you'll never lose it. And actually, what's harder than losing it is not finding it. And a lot of it comes out of passion as well. Passion and just things that we love keeps us going because they're anchors to this world. And that's what makes us curious to see how we're going to be able to carry them on for the years to come, I guess. And it's so nice to just remember yourself about that, whether it's like a being like into movies, being, I don't know, like passionate about horses like me, whatever. I don't want to I don't want to pass, for example, without having experienced my childhood dream, which is, as weird as it sounds, like just owning a horse. So I just don't want to pass before that. And it's those little things that just keeps us going, right? We survived to our 40s. You guys are like, I hope I can be like you when I grow up. I know I feel very young right now. Even if I feel old inside, because bearing the suffering of your inner world is very difficult. So it makes you feel so old at times. But you're not. That's just a concept. I want you own a horse. Thank you. Which, oh my god, I hope that if the day happens, I hope that we're still be on the Discord and I can share the pics on the pets channel. But for now, it's going to be the dog for next year, of course. I hope I can stay young as I get older. Definitely. I think I was thinking about that, and I see how, like, for example, when I look at my parents, for example, they don't feel old. They just feel like the way they were inside, right? When they were younger. Because that's how I feel right now. Like, for example, when I was like 14, I used to feel the same way as I feel now. And so I will carry this behavior and this younger me throughout the ages. What's just aging is the envelope, I guess. That's why we do Botox, by the way. It's great. That's why I hang with Jungans. Yeah, right. That would be amazing. There's a horse farm nearby. I see them almost every day. No way. That's so cool. I'm so jealous. It's just like, there's nothing as liberating as like riding horses. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I've never felt better than when I used to horse ride, which I did for like 15 years. Stopped doing it because it is expensive, but it's just so liberating. You feel free and completely disconnected from anything. Although I must say that I did had some moments where I was frustrated and all of that, because I'm very perfectionist. And if I make a mistake or anything, we talked about that. I was very upset. I would be like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. This is bullshit. I'm so bad at this, whatever. It's just always black or white. But eventually we try to see the nuances as we go. But yeah, wow, those vacations were so nice, by the way. Getting back to the topic. But look at that flat, beautiful curve, like that line, actually. It's almost a perfect line. That day where there's a little bump down is like a yellow day, which is my normal kind of days, where perhaps I'm just more like introverted, more like I don't want to really talk. There's something that buggers me at the back of my mind, but I won't say it kind of day. So it was fine, to be honest. It was okay. I feel like I was very tired also. I love vacations, but they're very tiring because especially when you're having like vacations with other people. For me, it's like a lot. And it's funny because I am pretty extroverted, pretty social, etc. But like, I do always want to be alone in my own house, in my own comfort. So there's like, yeah, definitely a duality in this kind of sense. And I love my friend to death, but it was like so exhausting at the end. It was like, can we take a chill day and just let's see everyone, let's see each other tomorrow perhaps. And so it was like, I need to not talk for a second. And I think it's normal, I guess, but I just, perhaps it's because I haven't been like in contact with people for so long, like technically ever since leaving school and graduating, because I used to be of course with people all day, and then I started freelancing and I was very much alone all the time. So for me, being with people every single day, that's like a lot. Like I have my partner and it's already a lot for me. So yeah, be away from each other. Yeah, let's do that. Everyone's like, maybe we can just not do anything today and see each other tomorrow. And everyone was like, yeah, I love how that sounds. So it's great to know that your friends also feel the same as you and feel when you need to have, like a moment for yourself as well. That's something I've never really experienced, like the empathy from other people. And I feel like now with the friends that I have now, I feel like more um, listened to and felt as well. Like people can see when I need more space or something, and I'm very grateful for that because I'm so bad at communicating my needs to my friends. I'm just like always trying to be there, always trying to be the funny one, always trying to be perfect, right? The perfect friend. Um and I see that because I never really share like the full spectrum of my suffering in a way, like because I feel like I don't want to ruin the moment or anything, and also because I just don't want to be disappointed if their reaction is not what I expect, which is bad for me to assume so, but that's the truth. Like I don't want to be disappointed in people like not caring about the things that I'm gonna say or something. Like I'm so afraid of that I rather just not talk about it in person. Love being able to talk when I visit family in New York, but it can be a lot. Yeah, I assume so. It can be so much pressure to be safe and valued and not messed up. Yep, it is. But we're doing great so far. Look at us. We're just there. We're trying to open up, and it's funny because how how I can talk about all of those things for hours here, like for example on Twitch, and just completely erase myself in a social context where I need to perform being the me that I feel is the most interesting me, rather than just being truthful to how I feel, I guess. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the people that I talk with, or maybe it's because of me, maybe it's because of a lot of things, and I'm not ready to be that person that actually seek for help and be like, hey, can you help me? I'm really not feeling good. I would say it in a manner where I'll be like, yeah, this happened, but now I'm fine, it's okay. Like always diminishing myself or my suffering for just something that I'm able to manage myself when I am not. And everyone knows it, of course. But I know, it's like a weird situation, I guess. I so hear that the not wanting to be disappointed by other people not getting me or being hurtful or whatever, I need to have more faith in people. Yeah, I mean, it's not like not having faith in them. And I see your point here, and I understand where you come from. I feel like it's more about just you can definitely trust someone and still not want to be disappointed about what they're gonna say, because sometimes you just expect certain words, certain phrasing and all of that, or at least for me it's that way. And it's very bad because I've like from that point of view, I'll always be disappointed because I'm expecting someone to have the words that I formulated myself in my own mind, and I'm expecting someone to tell me that when I should be the one telling myself that, you know? Not projecting it on others. So it's so of course certain people are not like able to comfort you the way you would like to, and that's another story. But the projection of like the expectations of comfort from someone else is very scary for me. It's scary to be vulnerable and to even be able to express what is happening or what a person needs. Yep. I'm so aware of others' emotion and needs that I'm used to pleasing them, doing what they need. Now with my kid's wife and end up putting my needs aside. Yep. Same thing. And of course I don't have a family, etc. But I would definitely be the same with like what's the closest thing for me is my partner and my friends. And then it really hurts me so bad because it drives me to a point where I can't take it anymore and I need to distance myself from those people because I've just burned myself so bad in just being there for them. But I wanted to be. I wanted to. But then it's like, oh, now I've give it all and I don't have anything left, and now they're feeling better, but they don't need me anymore, or I don't feel like they would reciprocate what I do, or want or need. I don't know. Totally, my lack of faith feels learned and proven, but I still have to keep trying to believe that people aren't going to be dicks. I feel you. I have a lot of trust issues. I'm very easygoing in the way that I would trust you like blindfully at first, but then the smallest slightest thing I'll be like, nah, I'm out. It will change my perspective on that person forever, probably. um and perhaps it's good, but perhaps it's bad as well, because that means that I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt or a chance to be complex themselves, because that would mean that I am complex and not allowing someone else to be complex and have contradictive behaviors or something. So it's a hard line to walk, I guess. It's a safety reflex for me around most people because they are legit not safe. Door closed. Yeah. You know. We know that. But I feel you. I'm glad that we're all in the same boat. So I have another 30 minutes. And I wanted to do something else as well. I wanted to ask a couple of questions, like a monthly questions, because I just wanted to check in to see where I'm at right now. Sometimes it's the economy of the work of trust and boundaries. Yeah, I guess the more we grow up, the more we're going to be able to filter and ponder our efforts as well. No, don't stop chatting. I love you. Please don't. I love chatting. I mean, of course, we chat every single day, but I just love chatting like that. And just verbalizing things for me is just liberating as well, with my own voice, so that I don't feel like everything's like happening in my head, right? Like, I just can't deal with some person's weirdness of or misunderstanding. It can be super distracting though. Oh, the talking, no, don't worry, it's not distracting. I found my charts. You found them? Oh my god. Need to share that on the Discord. So a couple of questions. What was the best thing that happened last month? Um, Best thing. Well, definitely the vacation itself was nice because it's like the ability and allowing yourself to, like, for example, have a rest day, or like, I don't know, like enjoy the things around you, the things that you never enjoyed. That's great. That's so nice. Like, you always know all of the things that surrounds you in your town and all of that, but you never get make the time to reach for them or anything. And that feels nice. Like, that feels so nice. I loved it. What is one thing you learned last month? Um, like, technically, I've learned a lot about AI. Um, and it was great, although very frustrating and weird at times. But other than that, like, the things that I learned is that I'm, I guess, I can come back from dark places as fast as I can come in the dark places, if that makes sense. The in and out can be so quick if I get into character. But also, I've learned that a lot of that is related to hormones as well. Like, it's crazy. For, like, ever since I started medication again, uh, so, like, for the past year and a half or 2 years, I don't remember exactly. But it's crazy because now I feel like I'm more, like, in tune and, like, able to see the variations of, like, hormones and how they affect me. And that's crazy because, like, the week before my period, it's like so bad, so bad. Like, you can see because it's always like those time of the months. Like, I can track it with my phone, and it's bad. It's so bad. So this is something that I learned, is that it's not all because of my mind or me because I'm a bad person or whatever. There's a lot of things involved in why I'm not feeling great, but sometimes I just love putting all the blame on myself, like most of the time. So that's it. What is making you feel stressed lately? I'm just stressed about, first of all, taxes all the time, but mostly about the fact that my year, like how I'm seeing this year of work, like we're almost entering like last quarter of the year, and I can see how badly I've performed compared to last year, which is a very bad comparison because last year was an exceptional year for a lot of reasons. Um, but of course, like, that makes me feel very stressed. I feel like I'm not gonna make it. Like, I don't know. I feel like perhaps this is not the path I was supposed to choose because, like, no one wants to work with me and whatever, which is false. But, like, also, like, at my own level, it is also true because I don't have clients and whatever. So the whole work thing is making me stressed. The fact that I am uh procrastinating in a way that I'm procrastinating for the sake of my mental health, but I'm not doing better. So I just feel like it's like avoiding work for nothing. I don't know. Self-regulating yourself more, like reining in a wild horse sometimes. Right. I love that. And I love the horse metaphor, by the way. 36-hour before me, it's slow progesterone and a weird testosterone spike. Oh my god, so bad. Oh, damn. I hope you're okay. I'm avoiding. Yeah, I know we have similar issues, by the way, when it comes to, like, discipline and stuff like that. Because the less I have to do, the less I want to do, of course. So it's hard to be back on personal projects. Everyone wants you to be dropping new stuff all the time, uh, physical stuff, new NFT project, fucking heal the deal stage 4, which will happen, I guess, at some point, but not this year because my friend Victor, who's working with me, also had a very tough time this year because of work. So we've decided to take it chill because like I don't want him to burn out again. So that and the market being what it is, it's just so weird. Like I feel like this year I'm all pretending to be the creative that I am and actually not performing it, and it's a weird feeling. Not saying it's true, but it's something that I feel. Procrastinating for me becomes feeling guilty 24/7. Same. It's so bad. And for example, like being on vacation was like so bad at some point because I was like, "Oh my god, I need to do something." But then I was like, there's nothing I can do now, so I just have to accept it. But it's different when you're like in your own house or something and just like not perhaps like working or something, taking nights off and whatever, having other duties to do that are more like tangible, I guess, like taking the kids to school or working out because you're addicted to working out and whatever, you know. It's weird, but I'm trying to see it as some people say, like, oh, everything is work, you know, everything is being productive. It's just that perhaps my vision of productivity is not the same, I guess. I don't know. Taxes and PMs, you talk more. You are so much more capable in some key ways. Thank you. I think my capability has gone down with all that great experience. I mean, totally. What do you mean? That is something you will have to explain further. Because you're totally capable of anything. And I am too. That was a disregard. No, I don't want to disregard. It's important for me to understand. It's not out of context. It's actually very in context because the aspect of being capable of something is so subjective, and like it's like it happens to any realm. Like it happens in work, it happens in our mind every single day when we feel like we're not capable of being happy, healing, getting better, whatever. So capability, it's such a weird concept for me. I'm just like, how can I lure myself into thinking that I am capable of pretty much doing anything if I want to? That's hard for me because like the voice in my head is like, nope, you're not. And I'm pretty sure that it's the same for everyone. I'm capable now in different ways, but my executive function is Oh yeah, so the actual way of going from capacity to tangible process and practice, that is the hard point. And I feel like there's this gap to be bridged, I guess, by something. Perhaps it is just not thinking about it and just doing the things, because I feel like what's keeping us from just doing anything is just the way that we overthink everything. And because we spend so much time in thinking and in the realm of thoughts, we just leave the doing behind, right? Or actually it never happens. And it's so sad to feel like that. Like, when did our thoughts happen to take that much space in our lives? That's a question I ask myself all the time. Neuroplasticity, yes. It's hard to relax, but I do what I can, try to take my mind off. Music, podcast, yeah. music, podcast, everything that makes you and transports you into another narrative, that the one that is your life. For me, that's the key. Hence why games, series, shows, movies, etc., books. For me, relaxing isn't like not being in my own consciousness and being in someone else's or like a different narrative. That's proper relaxing for me because I'm distancing myself from anything that's my thoughts, I guess. The synaptic bridge built by action. That sounds like a title for a book or a chapter of a book. I love it. It's very inspiring. I'm gonna need to screenshot this for a second so I don't forget about it and I can actually write something that's inspired by it. Okay, let's do a couple of more questions before I go on with the rest of my day, which now is going to be like, I don't know, like 2 hours because I'm supposed to stop working at 5-ish. When they became a place where we feel understood and have the whole picture of ourselves, the thoughts that are metacognitive, contemplative, ordering and sorting and orienting. Wow. I love it. You always have such a way with words, and it's really difficult for me to process everything when I'm talking at the same time, so I'm sorry for that. I need more time to read, but it's true. That's when they take up time. Totally. What was I saying? Is there anything or anyone in your life that makes you feel bad about yourself? Yeah. I mean, myself. You get a 5. I love you. Is there? Yeah, myself. I make myself feel bad about myself, and that's not fun because I want to love myself. You get off work at 5. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm trying to get off work at 5. It's convenient because I'm like, oh, can't do anymore. I gotta go out of work. Oops. That's a change of life. But yeah, I make myself feel bad about myself, and I don't like it. Not a lot of people make me feel bad about myself. Actually, I think it's just my interpretation of how people make me feel when they're not trying to make me feel like that, you know? Because I made sure to cut anyone that wasn't good for me, like in the core, you know? So I feel pretty okay about that. What are some things that happened this last month that you're grateful for and why? Well, I'm very grateful for my friends and for the time they took to just come by and do like 6 hours of playing to see us, and just very grateful for everything that my partner has done when they were here as well. He really managed to do a lot, made sure that, you know, everyone was happy, and just carried practical things for us as well. Because I was obviously very much trying to organize everything and make everything like super perfect and all of that. And he made sure that he could take some load off of my shoulders for that. So really nice. And he also suggested that we tried to do daily gratitude, which I have to remind him about sometimes now. But it's the thought of doing it at first that is important, and I was super taken aback, like in a positive way, so I was very grateful for that. And of course, you all, as per usual, you know that. I'm telling that every single day, but I'm very grateful for you. and to be able to have like those discussions right now, because that's something I never really had, like a place where, like, the actual fact of me being able to get out there, film myself, record myself, talking about those things and all of that, that's something I would never have done in the past. And now I'm able to do that, but that's also because we're all sustaining that kind of behavior and that kind of optimism. So that's great. Gratitude is important for me. And that's amazing. I know it's difficult for you to um, verbalize it, but you can also do it like in an internal way as well, But it's such an important thing because, well, we've seen this video and I shared it on the Discord as well about dissatisfaction, and the fact that, like, when people are never really satisfied about what they get, and, like, when happiness is such a quick thing, a fast relief, I guess, and then they go back to never really knowing why everything's not good enough for them or whatever, or they're not good enough for themselves as well. So yeah, I learned about that dissatisfaction, like, as a word and a concept, and how the gratitude process is one of the most effective things to actually challenge dissatisfaction. So that's why I'm trying to be very focused on doing that every single day. And Nina's art, and my daughter, and my dogs, and my family, and Lex Friedman's podcast and art. So many things. See, when the beginning of the list is hard to do, but when you start doing it, you can't stop, because, like, you have so many things to be grateful for, and the smallest things as well. I've been trying to listen to, like, daily gratitudes as well on YouTube. I've stopped during the vacation, of course, but now I just reminded myself about that, and I'm gonna do it again. Just guided meditation for gratitude, where you're just, like, repeating phrases, where, like, you're just, like, numbering all of the things that are great. So let's say, like, the air, the food, all of those things that we just take for granted because we just forget about them. An art lifesaver since I was a toddler. Yes. That's so nice that you're, like, so close to art ever since your childhood, actually, because I wasn't, not in the way that I am now. And it's just always warms my heart to see people being passionate about the same thing for their entire lives. I used to rhythm my breath when running with "I am loving, I am loved." Oh, that's nice. Wait, how are you able to do this while running, though? Because all I'm thinking while running is, like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. This is so hard. I'm so suffering right now. So that's props to you for doing that. I can't run, by the way. I've stopped running this week because, like, I've injured myself again because of the foot. But I miss it, running. It's been like a week without running and I miss it so bad. But also, it's going to be winter soon here in Montreal, and that means that we're not going to be able to run because snow. And picture the loving kindness meditation action. Yes. But for real, I should add more of meditation, like guided meditation on YouTube, because there's so many on YouTube. It's crazy. Like, you search for one thing and, like, you're trapped in a wormhole of, like, relaxation and just, like, collective things as well. I love it. That's why I was mentioning collective meditation yesterday to you, Plum. I stopped running last year. I love running so much. I run all winter in snow, but you have more snow. A little more. But it's so good. Like, it's very liberating. I understand why people get addicted to running. Like, I got addicted in, like, like a week and then run like for a month and a half, like I don't know, like 4 or 5 times a week. It's crazy. I used to get to do a meditation class at work. Yeah, that's great as well. Well, work can be a very different, it can be an unsettling like context as well for some, but it's so nice that people are actually bringing relaxation as part of work. Like, thank God, finally. I know it's not everywhere, but I feel like if some businesses are doing it, then like as a scheduled thing, then why wouldn't we do it for ourselves as well, like as a scheduled thing? It's like same thing as a meeting. Let's say like at 1 p.m. you have a meeting, then 2 p.m. is meditation time, and then like 5 p.m. is another task. It just follows along the concept of monotasking, which is something I'm trying to do right now. It's very hard, but I do believe that it can be very effective for a lot of people, though. Like, set like a certain amount of time for one task, then up you go on to another task, and roll out your day like that. But it's very difficult to put together. Um, okay, one time for a last question maybe, and then it's like 3 p.m. so I gotta go. Um, what are some areas in your life that are thriving and why? That's a good positive question to end this, I feel like. Because the word thriving for me, I would like I typically wouldn't go for it, but this question helps me to think about things in a very positive manner, which is so far out of who I am usually. Um, and it's a good one. So thriving, well, for example, I don't know if I can say that my work is thriving at the moment, but one area that's thriving for sure is my health in general. Even though I know I mentioned that I injured my foot, but bear with me there. I think it's because I have really taken care of my body, made sure I make sure to, now I go to the gym as well, because before I used to do gym here, but now I'm really trying to up my game. Like, for example, lift more heavy, make sure that my form is very good while doing the exercises, taking my time. And I feel like I'm thriving in this because I feel like I'm evolving, acquiring experience, strengths as well. And it just makes my day completely different. Although I am very addicted to working out, which can be a toxic thing, but when I'm doing it, I'm feeling great, and I know it's great for my body as well. And I thought about it actually this morning, when I was working out. I was like, damn, like, do you remember, like, for example, perhaps like 6 years ago, all I was doing, like, perhaps like 3 times of like 40-minute biking or treadmill per week, and I thought that was like enough and amazing. And now I'm doing like every single day, like a hour and a half workout with weights and running and all of that, and I feel so good. And I'm trying to heal my relationship with food, and I feel like like coming from the background where I come from, which is a very toxic, addictive background and all of that, that's so encouraging. And I think that's, for me, that's thriving. And if I'm not thriving in anything else, or I don't feel like I'm thriving, for example, in work and relationships and whatever, well, at least I have that, because that's the thing that's only for me, work and relationships and all of that, there's always other people involved. But working out and taking care of my health, it's just for me. And that's the one thing that I own, and that's all to myself. And so I feel like everyone should have something that's all for themselves, because it's how you reconnect with yourself, I guess. Because we tend to forget about that. So that's it. That's my final words for this week's episode, I guess. But it was nice. I feel very in tune right now. But it's all because of you guys. Because obviously you're my rocks in this journey. And thank you for everything. Obviously, we shall see and talk to each other very soon in the Discord, as per usual. But thank you so much for everything. You all matter so much, so much for me. I have no words to thank you enough for everything that you've done, and I hope you know that. And yeah, that was Heal the Deal, the mental health check, a monthly mental health check actually. And hopefully next time will be even better. Until then, take care, drink your water, make sure you wear your SPF even indoors, because you gotta protect your skin, and make sure you are healthy. And I love you. Bye.